Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you. Strange out.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate?
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a we in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss.
If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever's in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
I hope the two of you create something powerful. I want to stop Lilith quickly and decisively.
As I said, I'm sure it can help us. I just need to convince Tony to set his ego aside. His discomfort with the esoteric nature of the arcane might be a problem.
But Tony's eccentricities aside, I know you can make this work.
Right now, with the sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. Approach the anvil, Hunter. We do not have time to spare. You have my undivided attention. In this reality, anyway. By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The cube of nothingness. The tear of Profia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within. These were relatively common at one point in history.
Let's get started, Dr. Spooky. Welcome to Tony's Scary Demon Cave. I'm Tony, and how may I assist you today? No problem. Got some upgrades for you, hot off the press. Or forge. Big Tony's Forge of Mystery. We never close. Don't forget to write.
Hey, Hunter, got a sec to spare?
You've been here more in the past few days than I have since ever. The forge is pretty badass, but the creature trapped inside riles up my own inner demon. Speaking of, there's something you should know about me.
You are bonded with a spirit of vengeance?
Damn, you're good. How could you tell?
You are not the first spirit of vengeance to join the Midnight Suns. I fought beside another, just a few days... 3 centuries ago.
Oh man, sometimes when I have crap to work through, I like to get my blood pumping. Why don't we hit the yard for a sparring session? I know Sparky's excited to meet you.
Sparky?
That's what I call my spirit of vengeance. His real name is something you'd see written on a symbol, but with like 12 apostrophes. Also, he's not allowed inside after the incident with caretaker Sumerian Sofa.
It would be my honor to spar with the spirit of vengeance.
Wow, he's real excited. Never thought he'd get bouncy, but here we are. Okay, let's do this. I'll get Blake to set things up. Won't take a minute.
I will head to the yard. When you and Sparky trade places, what does he look like?
He's the guy with the flaming metal skull and hellfire chains. Kinda hard to miss.
Hunter, ready to get your burn on? I'm talking training with Ghost Rider.
Spirits of vengeance train the hardest.
Think Doctor Strange?
Like playing with fire, huh?
Maybe you should be the spirit of vengeance.
Hunter, report to the war room. We've got a mission.
Got a minute, Hunter? Crazy world you woke up to, Hunter. Hydra running around causing trouble, apocalypse prophecies, the Bronx.
It is indeed, Daywalker.
And that op against Faustus. The way Captain Marvel just absorbed that bomb. Unbelievable, isn't it?
That bomb was clearly meant for me. I am in her debt.
Yeah, but I don't think she sees it that way. She just saves people. Amazing. Smart, quick-witted, fearless. Hell, she even glows.
And do you find all of your allies equally impressive?
Yes. No. Wait. What are you trying to say?
You are not used to expressing feelings of affection, are you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
My apologies.
And if I did, this ain't my first rodeo, you know?
Of course it is not. Whatever a rodeo is.
Yeah. Well, now that that's settled, maybe I should go sharpen my stakes or something. And maybe we should keep this chat to ourselves for now.
Hey, for someone they just dug up, you look pretty fresh.
Why, hello, Hunter.
You called for me, Captain?
Keep telling ya, Carol works too, but yeah, I did. Now that Tony's finally starting to get a handle on his gremlin problem, I've been able to put Central to good use. Got a lead on some particularly gnarly Hydra operations happening in the city. But we need to move fast if we want to intercept them in time.
Then let's get going.
My thoughts exactly. There's just one problem, though. We seem to have lost our gatekeeper, Magik.
Lost?
Well, I updated her on the mission. She said something I can only assume to be a prolific swear word in Russian and disappeared. Literally. And with no magic...
There is no passage to New York, or anywhere for that matter.
Now you see my problem.
Do not worry, Captain. I will locate and alert her of the team's needs.
There's that can-do, get-it-done, old-timey prophesied savior of humanity attitude I was hoping to see today. Still, you better hurry. Not sure how long Hydra will remain in their current position.
And I shall make haste.
Yes, you hasten as much as you can, Hunter.
Good day, Hunter.
Oh, hey.
Nico, do you know where Magik is? We need her.
Let me guess. To open another portal? She's getting a little tired of being the only person here who can do that. Can't say I blame her.
This is serious, Nico. Where is she?
Not sure. But I know she's been looking for Wanda's grimoire, so maybe check in Wanda's room?
Thanks for your help.
Well met.
This room belonged to the Scarlet Witch, did it not?
Wanda. It belongs to Wanda. Let me guess. You are to ask me to do the one thing the others value me for. Opening their precious portal. Well, I am in the middle of something. Come back later.
It is never easy to lose a comrade. I know this too well.
We did not lose Wanda. We let her go. Before any of this started. Wanda's first grimoire. Agatha gave it to her when she was teaching her witchcraft, the dark arts. She was trying to help Wanda control her powers. She would never let me read it. So now I read it.
I do not suppose there are any spells in there that will banish Lilith and save the world?
Hard to say. These incantations appear to have been written for Wanda alone. Maybe a world without Wanda is one we are not meant to save. I know what she's going through. To come face to face with true evil itself. To be dragged to some hell dimension so hot that your soul is scorched black. Your heart so filled with soot that it chokes out all the bright parts of you. Until you are just a dark thing of smoke and ash. I cannot let such a fate happen to her.
We will find her. I can feel it.
And just who will find her? Caretaker? The Avengers? Do not try to fool me with your false empathy, Hunter. I know Caretaker will never waste the resources looking for her.
Ileana, just open the portal.
You are like an Avenger. All you do is take, take, take. You expect too much. Okay, I will open your damn portal. It is times such as this that I wish someone else here could drill holes through space and time. Perhaps Doctor Strange should spend less time tinkering with Tony Stark in the Forge and focus more on his magic. No matter. I will be there when you are ready, Hunter. Goodbye.
I take it you found our gatekeeper. Then let me explain what's going on. When Hydra isn't preoccupied with world-ending scenarios, they spend a lot of their free time terrorizing the citizens of New York through various low-level operations. It's fairly routine stuff for heroes these days, and worst case, we'll still get some fresh intel in the process. Why don't you check the mirror table and see what we've got on our plate? I did the math. It would actually be faster for me to fly.
So what is stopping you?
The shockwave would shatter the glass in my approach path.
Ah, that is not good.
Yeah, I try to be considerate.
Step through portal.
We're sending you straight to the coordinates Captain Marvel identified in New York. Dr. Banner has confirmed that the gamma signatures in the area match those of Faustus's weapon. We need to recover whatever intel we can if we're going to find out exactly what's going on down there.
Never surrender!
Looks like Captain Marvel was right on the...
Heroes. A single world-ending calamity is never enough to satiate your appetite for destruction. You insist on meddling further, forcing our hand yet again.
Oh, that's just lovely. Faustus has a radio. I'm assuming whatever Hydra is attempting to flee with on that chopper is our target. I suggest we stop it and see for ourselves.
It is all coming back to me.
It's about time.
I suppose it's something.
Let's do it. Think I can punch through a moon now? Not a problem.
Hail Hydra! Pathetic.
No retreat! You really want me out of the picture.
On Gamma on the move!
Your sacrifice will be remembered.
You don't even know what it is you're pursuing. The Gamma Disruptor you so narrowly escaped with in our last encounter was only the beginning.
I will open more than your eyes.
Such ferocious spirit. You truly are your mother's child, Hunter.
Hail that! No mercy for the servants of Lilith.
So that's how that works.
By her command!
Engaging target!
Have to do better than that.
Backup is on the way! Take them out!
The last thing we need is for that pompous buffoon to win today. Stop that chopper, please.
With pleasure. As a child, I feared the servants of Lilith. Now I teach them to fear me. They cannot possibly match your strength.
My work is never done. None can escape it.
of your wrath.
That should keep them grounded. Now let's get everything back to the Abbey for analysis.
Such arrogance. Our brave soldiers will never allow you.
Oh, shut up already. Take them down.
Alright, you're starting to piss me off.
Oh, one of our allies is in need.
Our loyal soldiers aren't the simple punching bags you've come to expect, are they? Somehow these humans, these mere mortals, dare to stand against ye fearsome gods. All is possible with Mother!
It was your time. Make way for vengeance!
Not looking good here!
Ready up.
I will not fall again. Follow my lead!
Changes nothing.
For years, I was considered a crazed zealot in the Hydra Cabal, obsessed with the old ways. But then we detected the convergence of the Midnight Sun.
Tell me about it. Actually, please do not.
Regroup and focus!
My power wanes.
Weak, even for Hydra.
Situation is under control.
They do not seem to be a match for us. I am afraid you might not make it back from this one.
Take this!
Well done. Seems like that's the last of them.
Last? There are more heads to the Hydra than you will ever comprehend, heroes. This is a minor setback at most.
Well, at least we don't have to listen to you any longer today. I consider that alone a victory.
Well done. If Hydra wasn't paying attention before, they are now. Stay sharp.
Count on it.
Well,
Feeling a chill, Magik?
you could say that. I've been staring at the night sky, trying to figure it out.
Figure what out?
You're observant, Hunter. You tell me.
You were trying to figure out how to bring Wanda back.
Close, Hunter. But no. Something much more sinister has grabbed my attention.
Sinister?
When I was holding the transdimensional door for you back there, I sensed something was at the docks with you. Something dark and familiar.
What did you see, Ileana?
I did not see, I said. I sensed something there. But that's not the only thing I sensed today.
Oh?
Something has shifted in Limbo, but I cannot quite put my finger on it. All I know is that whatever is happening is also strangely familiar to me. And when all you knew was darkness and despair growing up, that warm, fuzzy feeling of familiarity is not just a warning sign, but an alarm bell.
We should inform the others of any potential danger.
Warn them of what? One of Magik's airy-fairy gut feelings? The Avengers are already unsure of us. I do not need to add to that. Best not say anything until I am better able to articulate it. I'd like to be left to my thoughts now, Hunter. I still have a lot of thinking to do, while I try to make sense of what I felt at the docks and the energetic shifts that ripple through Limbo. I will let you know if I do.
Salutations, Hunter.
Hunter.
Man, I think they got the hell right on one of those traffic cams.
So what is space like?
It's a weird cross between beautiful, deadly, and slightly boring.
Boring? How so?
Space is empty. There's not much to do on that journey but look at the scenery. Even then, it's hard to tell you're actually moving. Kind of like highway driving through Nebraska. Sorry if I'm ruining any romantic notions of space travel.
You ever take a date out to space?
No, no way.
Why not?
I've had awkward car rides that were just 5 minutes. I can't imagine flying a bad date all the way back from Phobos. Relaxing. Thanks, Hunter.
Hi, kiddo. I'm glad to see you're getting comfortable with the words of power, Hunter. If you're going to continue our little investigation of the Abbey, they'll be vital to your success.
Investigation?
A side project, but a potentially transformative one. With my blessing, Wanda was working to uncover what may be the most powerful.
Just what in the hell do you think you're doing in here?
Standing in the library?
I've given you free rein so you could get back on your feet, but I never thought you'd pull something like this.
What is it you think I am doing, exactly?
Don't be coy. It does not suit you. I told you how hard it's been since we lost Agatha. Instead of letting it rest, you decide to reopen the wound?
Oh, Sarah. I never thought of this place like that.
Of course you didn't. And now, it's done. Why should I ever stand in your way? That anger wasn't meant for you, dear. You know that, right? Don't hold it against Sarah.
She may try to mask her feelings, but you know she is struggling with what happened. Why are you hiding from her?
For most people, the captivating relationships of their lives are formed over a matter of days and years. Sarah and I spent centuries together exploring this world, fighting the darkness, watching cities and even nations form and then crumble. And yet we persevered together.
You still have not answered my question.
It may be difficult to understand, but she needs this time. Sending Wanda away, sealing the library, that elaborate memorial she conjured up, she didn't waste any time trying to bury what happened.
You are right. I do not understand.
It isn't up to me to reveal myself. It's up to her to accept what happened and allow herself to grieve. When that happens, we'll see each other again, but not before.
I trust you will do what is right for Sarah. So, what is it you are looking at here?
Yes, we should get back to the real reason I asked you to meet me here. Wanda's journal. The Abbey grounds have a great deal of history. Many of its secrets remain hidden, even after all this time.
Even to you?
Even to me. Wanda had taken to exploring the grounds in search of a strange energy we both sensed. Knowing that Sarah had no intention of waking you to investigate, Wanda felt it was up to her to take your place. Of course, being the clever girl that she is, her notes are written in an ancient, transient cipher that I've only just begun to understand. Have a look at the first entry. I'm sure it still seems a bit cryptic, but Wanda was definitely onto something. If you remember my altar, that's where she was conducting her experiments.
An investigation that involves experiments. Why do I feel like you are going to get me into trouble?
Since when has that ever stopped you? Let's meet out at the altar. I'll try to do a better job of explaining from there. Charlie will show you the way if you've forgotten.
She believes in our purpose.
Like most things on the grounds here, there's more to this place than meets the eye. Do you remember the words I taught you as a child?
Are you going to make me say it?
Humor an old, dead woman.
Hocus pocus.
You haven't lost your touch, dear. The words may be simple, but these plinths won't appear for just anyone. Each represents one of the basic elements, their power activated only by the elemental rods they would normally be holding.
And where are the elemental rods now?
Scattered to the wind, unfortunately. A side effect of Wanda's experiments here.
Let me guess.
That's right. I want you to find the missing rods and return them here. Hopefully, as I decipher Wanda's journal, her notes will aid in the search.
But you have not actually told me what the greater purpose is here. What are we doing this for?
All in good time, dear. After what happened with Wanda, I'd rather you take things slowly. In fact, I don't want you overthinking this little project. There's no rush, and you don't have to help if you don't feel like it. But there is one more thing before I head back to the library.
An arcane key?
Just a little something. A token for your efforts so far. The key can be used to open that chest nearby. Like so many other oddities around here, those chests tend to appear before those who deserve them most. Make yourself that person.
That seems intentionally vague.
It's more fun that way, isn't it? I'll be in the library working on the translations if you need me, dear. Good luck.
I love a chance to rock my Kree bathing suit. Hunter, you're growing on me.
This is a little cryptic.
It's a clue. Don't worry if you can't solve her riddles all at once. I'll translate new clues every night.
But the Abbey grounds are huge. How will I know where to look?
You used to love running around these grounds as a child. If you need a refresher, study your map.
After our last battle, what happened to Lilith?
You were in the woods. You and your mother obviously came to blows. But we found no wounds, no evidence of what happened at all. A silent, deathly embrace between mother and child. We had hoped you would both find peace in the next life.
But she is not buried here.
No. We entrusted her to the Knights of Wundagore, the ancient protectors of your ancestral homeland in Transia. I don't think they ever expected to contend with an organization like Hydra, and I doubt Lilith spared any who survived her reawakening.
You said something earlier about the blood.
In a world full of mysteries, the blood have managed to remain even more mysterious than most. They were an ancient race, said to be born of the Elder Gods. As I understand it, they were very strict about maintaining their bloodline. That's probably why you don't hear about them very often. And yet, here you are, one of their direct descendants.
Are there others?
It's quite possible, but even if there are, they might not even know it themselves. Somehow, I take comfort in that.
What they do not know cannot hurt them.
Indeed.
What would Wanda want with your altar?
What can I say? Some people have a curious, adventurous itch that just has to be scratched. I was one of them, and so was Wanda. Caretaker, not so much. But I see it again in you, Hunter.
So you encouraged her exploration?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? What good is being as powerful as we are if we're just going to spend all our time cooped up within these walls? What's the worst that could happen? You got me there, dear.
What do you know about the moon seals?
Presumably forged by the gods themselves. I like to think of a moon seal as both a lock and a key. With the right power, wielded by the right person, the energy of the seal is unleashed, creating a conduit to the Elder Gods.
And I am that right person.
Just another benefit of being descended from the blood. Lucky you, dear.
Where did the words of power come from?
Well, I often call them blessings or gifts of the old gods. The words of power are actually powerful invocations tuned to the unique energies found in descendants of the blood.
And Caretaker used the words as well.
Of course, dear. Sarah used the words of power on the Abbey grounds just as you do today. Many of the areas you encounter that seem receptive to these spells are actually the result of Sarah's frequent undertakings. Can that really be you? Come. After all these years, it is good to see your face again.
Wish I could say the same, Mother. Now enough with this deception and reveal your true form.
But this is my true form. The way I was when you were just a sweet, helpless little baby. You don't remember that, do you? Well, I do. Bringing you into the world was the happiest time in my life.
And taking you out of this world again will be mine.
I had thought the words of power would open your eyes. But I should have known my sister and her pet witch would continue to withhold the truth from you.
And what truth is that?
The truth they are keeping from you. You need only...
Wait! Mother! Where did you...
Was that really her?
A successful collaboration.
We are finally getting some decent tech down here. How's it going, boss? No problem. What do you think? Later.
I feel like we left things unfinished, Hunter. Well, don't leave me in suspense. How are you enjoying the library?
I thought we were past that.
We are, but I'm still allowed to be annoyed with you. I expect a bit of pushback from the others.
but not from you, Hunter.
Why not? When have I ever made things easy for you?
You had your moments, few and far between, but that's exactly my point. You know what that place, what she meant to me, and you did it anyway.
If I had known it meant this much to you, I would have waited. It was not my intention to defy or hurt you.
Hurt, no. Defy, maybe. At the same time, I know I haven't been very open with you about everything that's happened.
At least we are talking now. Silence between us would only make things worse.
You're right about that. We have bigger things to worry about. Like the mouthy alien tormenting SpiderMan as we speak.
He did risk himself for us without hesitation. We owe him for that, at least.
For once, I think the entire team is in agreement. It's only a matter of tracking Venom down.
I would just follow the trail of destruction, but maybe there is another way.
I'm sure we'll come up with something. Don't leave poor SpiderMan waiting too long now.
The intel cache we recovered from Hydra's gunship might seem sophisticated to the casual bystander, but they probably weren't expecting to go up against the likes of me. With Central's help, I can decrypt these babies in no time, providing us a valuable and fascinating glimpse into Hydra's twisted little minds. You have that I want to ask you something, but I'm not sure I should look on your face. Go on, ask.
What does it feel like to fly?
That's not it. You really wanted to ask if Captain Marvel can take you flying sometime.
That would be wonderful, if you do not mind.
I'll put you down on the list. You are the last Midnight Sun to ask. I'm actually surprised Blade wants some airtime.
I am not.
What?
Nothing.
Okay then. I could do that again. We should have brought some playing cards. What's new, Hunter? Okay, Central. What's your magic? Want to read something that'll make you weep? Take a look at this. Now that we've decrypted the intel, let's put what we've learned to good use. Check out the available hero ops listed on Central. If we had some rookies, I'd say send them out for the experience, but I think we're past that. I can handle that. These are the current priorities. See you soon. We've got a situation rapidly developing. I'll be in contact soon, Hunter. What are you doing, Faustus?
You're looking stronger than ever, kiddo.
Hey, can I ask a favor?
Hey,
Thanks, Hunter. I've got a kid I send on missions sometimes.
Time to take it to the next level. Not everyone wants my advice, but they're gonna get it.
You know I know magic, right? Ooh, now I see what all...
All right then.
I would be rotting inside that creature's gullet if not for Spider-Man. Time to return the favor.
We'll find him. We're running facial recognition on every surveillance camera in the cloud. They just keep moving too fast.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but you think Team Spooky's doing any better?
Nothing.
Well, your inflection on that last dactyl was... perfect. Perhaps a magnetism rune.
Against a level 5 demon alien hybrid? Where did you learn your magic? Demo Khan?
You know, you really do have a look.
Hunter's right. This isn't working.
On to plan C. Well, more like D.
Norman won't mind if I borrow a few Oscorp satellites at 45,000 feet, right?
Higher, further, faster, baby.
82nd and 5th. Well, between 5th and Madison now.
Guys, they're live. And they're trending.
Hashtag Big Alien Apple.
Not bad.
Thanks. Now imagine if you had just asked for our help sooner.
No time for an after-school special. Patching it through. Patching it all through.
We need to hurry.
It's impressive how much Spider-Man has been able to handle on his own.
I have never seen anyone move with such speed or agility.
Venom has taken to the rooftops, and he's tossing just about anything he can find onto the streets below. There are innocent people down there. Get them to safety before it's too late.
Stay safe, ma'am!
I should probably tell you the same thing.
Jeez. You'd think he'd at least have tennis elbow or something by now?
SpiderMan! We shall squash your bones and bring them home to Mother!
Subdue this animal and bring it to Site 1.
We'll squish your face and eat your...
I'd seriously consider switching occupations if I were you, friend. I know, no job's perfect. But at the end of the day,
It's all about the coworkers.
For the mother.
Everything's cool. Really nice of you all to come by and visit the old neighborhood. I'd say let's all stop for a group selfie, but Eddie might get a little jealous.
I cannot fathom why one of my mother's fallen is so obsessed with you.
Way before those horns grew out of his head. I've never known him to pick on civilians, though. We need to get these people out of his way. Oh, this is ridiculous!
Well, that's interesting.
Targeting systems active.
Take care of the rest.
Forever in service.
For Hydra!
They finally got me.
Ow!
Their persistence is irritating.
Where do they keep finding these guys?
Serve her with honor.
Lilith must not have left instructions for Hydra on how to control her new pet. Can't say I feel sorry for them, but there's still civilians trapped here too.
Oh, cool. I can hear her too.
It's a comm. The same one I activated in your suit.
Right, that was gonna be my next guess.
No mercy for the servants of Hail that!
I'm on it.
That wasn't bad. As long as you're ready for the counter.
Hail Hydra! Engaging target!
Scratch.
Another batch of idiots coming in.
I've got your back.
You know what
If we're lucky, that creature will run out of things to throw.
Better yet, let's make sure he has no one to throw at. Gotta get these people to safety.
This is no place for you. Get to safety.
The civilians are clear. It's open season on Hydra and their pet monstrosity.
They will be the next to fall in the hunt.
Wow. You two ever work with a guy named Craven?
Whatever works.
Confirmed enemy target.
will heal you. I feel stronger already. Do not slow me down.
Now's your chance to hone those skills of yours. Don't leave any Hydra standing.
All right, time to really apply myself here. Here's one for you.
Leave some for the rest of us. You're mine.
Here you go.
Proceeding as planned.
That won't slow me down.
Power solution ready.
Watch closely.
Now that was something. Requesting medevac! Blade told me to mention your mother. Apparently, she's promiscuous. I've been waiting.
I'm gonna get you for that.
Behold the light's gift.
I owe you.
We're losing ground!
I bet my staff is bigger than yours.
You were too weak for this fight.
No more games! No more running! You can't stop us, heroes! But we hope you try! Mother tells us to hurry!
Don't suppose you'd let us actually try and help you, Eddie?
Help us. Help us! You took everything from us, Spider-Man! And now, we will take your world!
That should help.
You asked for it.
No time to lick our wounds!
Weak, even for Hydra.
Even we have our limits. Monoforms are for the weak! Stop your struggling!
If you wanted a hug, you could have just asked!
Do not touch us!
Follow Spider-Man's lead here. He's the expert when it comes to Venom.
Thanks. I recommend giving him a wide berth, especially if he's feeling huggy.
Pain is angering!
Hope this helps. Feeling strong all of a sudden.
We will peel back your flesh!
This isn't a healthy way of expressing yourself.
Arm Alpha reinforcing! Why fight, heroes? Embrace Mother's love! Your struggles are pointless, and they spoil the meat!
Is he always like this?
He's bad. You should see Jameson if he doesn't get his morning bagel.
I'll give it a whirl. I think Growth is holding out on you. Maybe you should ask about some new powers. This usually works.
You are puny!
Oh, we should not underestimate this thing.
Play with our food! Nothing can save you from us, little spider! Not heroes, not puny soldiers! We will lose until you are ours!
I believe him. We need to put an end to this fight soon before he brings down the entire city.
Your mother abandons you. The light will carry you onward. Welcome assistance.
Awaiting reinforcements.
We sense your fear, heroes. We can taste it.
Oh, sorry, Eddie. Think you're just picking up a whiff of garlic from DeCarlo's. Tell you what, call off this ending the world thing and let's...
We will make you pay for that. We'll make you feel regret. We will crack your tiny bones.
Being hit by a Hellord. Only more sticky.
What are you made of anyway?
I am not sure whether I should feel pity or disgust for this bizarre creature.
Here we go. Stay down already, loser.
You only delay our meal.
They're strong.
This is a great victory, everyone.
Mother strength is eternal. We are eternal.
He fights like a damned Wendigo! Unstoppable!
Oh, he's not unstoppable. Just really annoying. Huh. Not my worst idea ever. Good afternoon, Demo Venom! Here's a special request from all of New York to you, our slobbiest invaders since Thanos. Exceptionally loud! Had to get bit by a radioactive spider with really good hearing.
I was going to say, amazing.
That's what the kids tell me. I think I'll pass out now.
Don't worry. I know a safe place.
Good day, Hunter.
Don't see the big deal about New York. LA has just as many monsters that need slaying. Hunter, I was just looking for you. We need your assistance.
Who is we?
The Esoteric Mystical Order, specifically the Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism.
That is an elaborate name.
You can blame Doctor Strange. Oh, I may have rearranged a few words so it spells out emo kids.
Tell me what you need.
Doctor Strange, Magik, and I are researching a crucial moment in your past, but it's probably better if we just show you. How about it? Ready to uncover one of the greatest mysteries about your life after death?
Lead the way.
Let's do it! So, about the spell that brought you back to life, it worked better than expected, but there are some gaps.
You are talking about my death.
Exactly. The memories of your final moments might tell us how you defeated your mother 3 centuries ago. That could give us an edge this time around.
Those memories are lost.
Maybe not. We think there's a way to recover them. All you're gonna need is a mystical jumpstart.
How would that work?
Doctor Strange can explain it better than I, but if you want the abridged version, ask Magik. And when you're ready to begin the ritual, let me know.
Hunter, I'm glad you're present for the inaugural meeting.
Of what, exactly?
Why, the Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism, the Abbey's local chapter of the Esoteric Mystical Order.
Right. Emo kids. So, the ritual?
Regarding your resurrection, we had to meticulously reunite your corpus, or physical vessel, with your animus, or spiritual essence.
How does this relate to the ritual?
Animating your corpus was the easy part, but your essence, your thoughts, hopes, fears, and dreams, that was the slipperiest eel.
Does the ritual require eels?
But now, with the plenary potential of Miss Minoru's Staff of One to focus Miss Rasputin's enigmatic energies, I, Doctor Strange,
The ritual?
the Sorcerer Supreme, shall pluck from unreality your mislaid memory, thought lost to time and death. I shall stare those cosmic forces in their many eyes and shout, "Nay!"
Doctor Strange, the ritual. How does it work?
Didn't I just explain? I could start with the fundamental underpinnings of the multiverse theory if it would help.
I am done talking about this.
But oh, all right.
Yes?
How does this ritual work?
This is the ritual. You focus on the past, Nico zaps you with her staff, Strange chants and waggles his fingers, then you remember. Maybe.
So why are you here?
Should the zapping, chanting, and waggling go bad, I will open a portal to Limbo and push you inside before the explosion.
There is a chance I might explode.
A very small chance. Unlikely.
How concerned should I be about exploding?
Slightly more than usual.
That is all I need to know.
Tell Nico, and don't explode.
The first part's easy. I need you to focus on your last memories before you fought Lilith.
Will this help me remember?
I can't answer that. When I start, you'll be the one making the repairs. The rest of us are here to keep you steady.
All right.
If you're ready, we can begin.
I am ready.
Now, Hunter, tell us what you see.
I raced through the Abbey grounds. Angry. Terrified. It is too late. We were not ready. My foot slips, but I catch myself. I run with my blades exposed. I am completely alone. The moonlight guides my path. My lungs ache. My heart pounds. I rush toward my doom. I cannot. No!
Whoa! We all saw that, right?
I have no words to describe it.
Finally.
Well, how about that? Your final moments are there, just buried deep inside.
It did not work.
Not yet, but we made progress. I'm sure we can figure out a way for you to remember more the next time.
Next time?
Heck yeah! Emo kids meet every lunar alignment, or, you know, whenever we're free on a slow night. Oh, and we need ingredients. Magik will send a list to your Spark. If you bring enough, we can refine them into more useful mystical objects. We're done for today, but I'll be in touch about the next meeting. Catch you later.